Sea.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Thursday, a pretty sunny day. It'll be warm, too. The high at 80 on the coast, 86 inland. Thursday night, partly cloudy and mild, though 58 inland, 66 at the coast. On Good Friday, some sunshine followed by increasing clouds and warm. High 81 at the coast, 88 inland. Saturday will be cloudy and not as warm with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the area. Highs in the mid-70s to near 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 20 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Last week there was a story in the news about a man in England who had gone blind in one eye from macular degeneration. The rest of the story was he went to get stem cell therapy to his retina. I'm probably messing up this a little bit, but the point is he had stem cell therapy and was able to see again. He was 86 years old. So there was a story right there that got my attention because you hear so much about stem cell therapy and you kind of understand. You don't have to know the details of the science. You just have to understand, I guess, in the same way we know that a seed can grow a whole tree, right? So you say, well, so could a stem cell grow a whole new arm or a whole new retina in this man's case?
Exactly.
I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that we as human beings are very, very, very hopeful that stem cell therapy is going to take some of the diseases and some of the conditions that we have taken as forever, and maybe they won't necessarily have to be forever. Joseph Christiano wrote a book. It is called Stem Cell Revolution. Mr. Christiano is a naturopathic doctor, a certified nutritional counselor, a certified nutritional health professional. He's the former Mr. Florida bodybuilding champion. Mr. Florida.
My favorite part.
Mr. Florida.
I know.
He's
Mr. Florida.
He's a Mr. USA runner-up. He's the founder of Body Redesigning by Joseph Christiano, and his book, again, is Stem Cell Revolution. The subtitle, Discover 26 Disruptive Technological Advances in Stem Cell Activation. Let's find out about this from Joseph Christiano. Good morning, Joseph. What an honor to have you on our show.
Good morning, Larry. Great to be here.
Where are you?
I'm in my office.
Where's that?
I'm really close, by the way. I'm down here in DeLand.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for being on the radio with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Okay, so explain the subtitle, disruptive technological advances. The word disruptive is throwing me a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's crazy because most people, when they hear the word disruptive, they take it in a negative connotation or in a negative form. In reality, disruptive technology is something that is replacing the old norm because it has more benefits for the end user. You've heard of Uber.
Yeah. Okay.
Uber is a disruptive technology. Blockbusters was replaced by Netflix. Netflix is a disruptive technology.
Gotcha. Okay.
Made it easier for the consumer. Now, over here in this science and medical world, stem cell procedures, stem cell therapy, PRP therapy, adult stem cell activation, these are disruptive in the orthopedic medical world because the old norm would be conventional medicine and its treatment options, but though they've been here forever and ever, they're limited. And so now we have, and I explained it in the book, these new options that are non-invasive or near non-invasive and very, very efficacious, and they heal the body. They don't treat symptoms.
The political pushback against stem cell therapy was during George W. Bush's presidency. And I'm going to tell you what I think happened, and you tell me if I got it right or not. I think what happened was we only had one way of getting stem cells, and that was from embryos. And therefore, those who were against it were saying we're going to have people, ladies, getting pregnant on purpose with no intention of giving birth and then using those embryos just for stem cells. That's part one. Part two was that turned out not to be necessarily true. Did I understand that period of our history correctly? Is that what was going on back then?
Yes. Back in the early stages of development and research, embryonic stem cell therapy was the basis to it. And of course, you got all the pushback. You got it's because it's so controversial. Because the means, in my position, the means have to justify the ends. And to me, to terminate a fetus to have the end product help mankind isn't justifiable because it goes against the sanctity of life.
Sure.
That's my position.
Yeah.
But so when we talk about, or when people hear about the topic of stem cell treatment and things, there's a pushback because they only can relate to that. But in my book, I try to take this, the scientific and medical topic and break it down in layman's terms so we get it. But we also understand that over time now, we've advanced in this field to where we can use our own adult stem cells. We don't need embryonic cells anymore, but our own adult stem cells, the genetic material that we're given at birth, to heal our body and repair ourselves from illnesses and pain and things like that.
Wow.
We knew a gentleman, he has since passed, but he had stem cell therapy in his knees, and he went down to a doctor in Clearwater, Florida, and he took stem cells from one part of his body and put it in the knees, and he was so much better after that.
Well, let me break it down for you so that we understand exactly what takes place. The adult stem cells, there are natural cellular repair crews. In other words, if you have a trauma, if you fall, get in a car accident, if you get injured, or if you have some type of illness or disease, the body releases its adult stem cells and rushes into that particular area. And adult stem cells basically have two characteristics. One, it's called being pluripotent, which that means is they can divide and become other cells. Okay, so in this case, if you have we'll say you cut your hand, what happens in the healing process is that the adult stem cells become skin tissue cells, and that's how it heals, and it goes on and on from there. But what happens is the adult stem cells rush to an area and they repair the tissue or the cells that have been damaged. And in the case of the gentleman that you just spoke about, when a person has, we'll say, a damaged knee, and really, to make a long story short, they've gone through the gamut. They've tried the medications, they tried the anti-inflammatories, the therapy, the knee's getting worse, and they get their final demise, and that is you're bone on bone, right?
Yes.
Now, that's your death sentence. You got to go home and tell your family, listen, I'm bone on bone, there's no more options, and they're going to have to replace my knee. And you go through this mini upper and lower leg amputation, remove your natural material, put in a piece of metal, sew you up, and hope you can go on from there. That's the horror story, right?
Yeah,
that's the horror story. So where's my options, doc? And that's where it ends. Well, stem cell therapy, now what happens is you go to a physician like the doctor you'd mentioned in Clearwater, and they extract your stem cells. And typically, even though you can extract stem cells three areas from the body, the majority of adult stem cells are in the body fat in the tummy. Okay, we call it adipose tissue.
Oh, I got plenty.
Okay, so then
Are you going to be harvesting now?
now you're harvesting wonderful stem cells, Larry.
I'm just feeling really good right now.
You're loaded, brother, okay? Okay, so what happens is they go in and they do a mini liposuction. Now, it's not a cosmetic procedure, but they go in and pull out so many cc's of actual body fat. Then in their lab, they extract the adult stem cells, and they can extract millions upon millions of adult stem cells, and these are your stem cells, right? Put them in prep it and put it into a syringe or two. Then they go to a site or sites, in other words, an area or two in that knee, and they'll inject your material into that knee, and two things happen immediately. Number one, they're called mesenchymal cells. It doesn't matter, but these are adult stem cells that I call them the anti-inflammatory bombs. And what it does is actually reduces the inflammation that's been caused by your two bones rubbing together like striking a match every time you try to walk or do something. So that knee's been inflamed, it's painful, your lifestyle, it comes to a screeching halt. All of a sudden, within, I would say, up to 48 hours, you're about 95% pain-free. You feel like a new person again. But the tissue is still damaged, right? And so now, as the weeks and months go on, it's called self-renewal, and the stem cells start to reproduce themselves. So we'll say the 30 million stem cells that were injected into the knee can start multiplying. Now you have 30 million plus 30 million more developing over the months, and what they do is they attach to the remaining cartilage that's been intact, and over those months they start to grow, and it grows your cartilage back to new, and within a certain period of time, based on your condition and so forth, you have a brand new knee, and you never had to have the knee replacement procedure.
That is amazing.
Wow.
That's why it's disruptive.
So obviously what you just described is the same thing that happened to the gentleman in England with his retina, correct?
Yes. Now, whether they injected directly into the retina or they did an IV, okay? But in either case, they extracted his own stem cells. No medications, just his own genetic material. So there would be no rejection or anything like that to be concerned with. And what happens is these stem cells, now if it was a procedure where it was an IV, it's like little Pac-Men. These stem cells, they just travel throughout the body, and it's a genetic phenomena. And they just go through, and they attach to the damaged tissue. So in the case of his retina, if there was damaged neurons, okay, from the brain to the eye and so forth, then the adult stem cells were able to repair the damaged tissue that was causing the breakdown in his vision or in his eye function.
Right.
And then it repairs itself. And so that's what's so exciting about this, because when people get a handle on this, they have better options, and it's life-changing. It's not putting a Band-Aid on an old problem.
And you point out in the book that there are different therapies. One therapy might not be right for the next person.
Yes. I list three. Of course, stem cell therapy, and I break it down. And then there's PRP. It's platelet-rich plasma, and that to me is the second in line. In other words, I think stem cell therapy is if you're chronic, you have some nagging conditions that just can't repair or get better or improve. In fact, are getting worse. But PRP is almost the procedure is the same. In fact, you go for, if it's stem cell therapy or PRP, you go in, you have a blood draw. In other words, they're going to probably take 3 or 4 vials of blood from you, okay? In the case of PRP, they put it in a centrifuge, which just rapidly spins the blood that was just withdrawn, and it separates the platelets and the growth hormones. And then what they do from there is they prep it for a syringe, and we'll say you have whiplash. Maybe your cervical spine, your neck was injured, and there might be one particular bulging disc in your neck that's causing radiating pain going down your arm to your fingers, something like that. Or it could be in your lower back going down to your legs, to your feet. They would, again, inject right there your material, and right away it starts to heal that particular area. The ligaments in your neck or in our spine that keeps the discs from being squashed from our body weight now are strengthened and takes the pressure off the disc. The disc can relax, and it's no longer pressing or impinging the nerve, and the nerve pain goes away. So PRP is the next in line. And then the adult stem cell activators. Now, these are wonderful therapies/technologies, and people are using them all over the country. They're available through physicians, if physicians even know about them. I'm big on them because in my book I talk about how I helped my mom, who after 18 years of having diabetes ended up with failing kidneys, and she was to sub 25% function. And she was petrified because her physician said she needed to go on dialysis. And this is at 90 years old. And I said, Mom, I'm not going to let that happen. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the stem cell activators, because on the book cover it says 26, and that means...
What is a stem cell activator?
A stem cell activator, these are plant-based, we call them regulatory peptides, which are amino acids. And they're taken from plant-based, and they have a nanotechnology added to it, which means that the molecular structure is reduced, but the potency of them are magnified. And there's absolutely, because the dosage of the peptides are so low, they can't cause any side effects, interfere with medications or anything like that. And they bypass the digestive tract. They're drops. In other words, you take 20 drops a day in water, and anything we ingest, by the way, gets pretty much diluted by our enzymes that act up in our stomach. Well, these bypass that, get into the bloodstream, and they're targeted. There's 26 different ones. In my mother's case, she would take the drops for her kidneys, all right? And then I gave her one that was targeted for her pancreas because of blood sugar, because of her diabetes. Religiously, every day, taking her 20 drops. About 4 months later, she sees her physician after blood work. The doctor that's treating her for her kidneys said, Helen, I don't know what's going on, but your kidneys are actually improving.
Wow. So what if you had done that when diabetes was first diagnosed?
Well, I can't give you a guarantee, but I can tell you this, that we have people that are on dialysis. We have people that are diabetic. We have people that have eye conditions. We have people that have neuropathy and are taking adult stem cell activators, and they're calling us thanking us for their bodies repairing. People that have, it's absolutely amazing. So the three therapies are absolutely astounding, and some are there's a price factor that we all have to deal with when it comes to stem cell treatment. Your stem cell treatment across the board. Now, Larry, this could change based on clinic, but on the average, if you had that, let's say that knee problem, you went in and they want to do a treatment, it's going to cost around $5,000. It's going to cost you $5,000, and because it's not covered by insurance, it's out of pocket. But even though it's a big,
really?
Yeah, and by the way, if you have other areas, it could cost you $10,000 or $12,000.
So I want to make sure the listeners know the information that we're hearing is in the book Stem Cell Revolution by our guest Joseph Christiano. And before we run out of time, I just have a real quick question.
Sure.
Well, actually, two, if you don't mind me, two in one. The first one is: are we at the frontier stage of this therapy? Are we going to look back at this in 10 years and say, oh my gosh, that was the very beginning and now we've got a better understanding of it? That's kind of part one. And part two, if I could kind of throw two at once, would this therapy be able to, I don't know how to say this, but let's say somebody has Down syndrome or some kind of autism. Could this actually fix that?
Well, the answer to the first question is we're already looking back 10 years and seeing how far we advanced. We're wondering how far further can we go. It's kind of a work in progress because the results are just phenomenal, from repairing a heart that's been three-quarter damaged through a heart attack and repairing heart tissue back. So it's amazing. The other is, to make a claim that you can heal any condition. I can't go ahead and say that, but we're seeing some almost miraculous changes in all three of these therapies. So I'm very, very excited. What I saw happen to my mother made me go, listen, if a 90-year-old...
Oh, yeah. No, there's no question about it. I wanted to thank you for being on the show. I want to make sure the listeners know where to get more information, because once the clock runs out, then we'll be stuck. So I have the website bodyredesigning.com. Is that a good website to recommend?
Yeah, bodyredesigning.com.
Okay, and the book, I have a copy of Stem Cell Revolution. Call me if you'd like the copy that Joseph sent to us. I did find it on Amazon. Looks like you're doing really well on Amazon. I'm guessing it's available wherever books are sold. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Any other websites we should mention?
Or bodyredesigning.com.
Okay. That says it all. And let me give this one away real quickly, and then we'll say goodbye. Good morning. You've got the book. Who's this?
Thank you so much. It's Lauren. Thank you.
Lauren, you've got it. Thank you. Joseph, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Larry, thanks for having me. It was my pleasure.
All right. Good luck. We'll be right back.
This is Matt Wilkerson from Verizon. You work all day, right? So why would you want to spend your night out shopping for that new phone? Well, Marion County, let me and Verizon help you out. I can deliver to your home or office, saving you precious time. Phone, tablets, internet, home phones, even accessories. Whatever you need, we will deliver free of charge. Call me at the store, 352-528-0020. That's 528-0020.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Thursday, a pretty sunny day. It'll be warm, too. The high at 80 on the coast, 86 inland. Thursday night, partly cloudy and mild, though 58 inland, 66 at the coast. On Good Friday, some sunshine followed by increasing clouds and warm. High 81 at the coast, 88 inland. Saturday will be cloudy and not as warm with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the area. Highs in the mid-70s to near 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Ousted VA Secretary David Shulkin firing off parting shots in an op-ed.